Welcome to the Festival of Storytellers.
I can't tell you how excited I am to be on right now. It's been a couple of weeks of excitement, getting prepared, and I've done a lot of things in my life, but this has got to be close to the top.
Thank you, and Reader's Magnet, and thank you, John, for putting this forth and taking the chance on us authors in presenting this out to the world.
I've enjoyed this immensely, Joanne.
Ellie, so have I. Thank you for who you are, and thank you, Reader's Magnet. You all are beautiful, and you've worked so very hard, and we are blessed.
We are.
I thank everybody that's involved with this process, because we know writers need readers and writers need publishers. We thank Reader's Magnet and everybody that's involved. I love Reader's Magnet. They say, we share your stories with the world.
Hi, good afternoon. Great to see you again. My name is Jennifer RABAGO-ROMAN, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about my book, Remembering My Real Life. It's a beautiful journey about my personal life experiences in poetry that takes place in a lot of different places, that ranges from a person's heart to person's touch, to watching a beautiful white snowdrop, to becoming that beautiful landscape of a beautiful white lawn, to being in a person's arms, to staying and being with great best friends, to being outside, to being on a special night, to being in the night, to being near water, to being in the moonlight. But as you see, it can be in many different places, but I cannot give away all the places that are in the book. You know why? Because the reader must read this book. And you can pick up this book on Amazon.com. But you have to do it today because, well, you know how shipping is. And you have to get it before the holidays, because they're a perfect little gift for yourself, for your family, and for your friends. Thank you so much. So in this book also, I talk about my authentic self. So that is what I'm going to talk about today, is learning how to be and finding your true authentic self. So let's put this down, and I'm going to tell you how to find and how to be your authentic self. Okay, so learning how to be your authentic self is a crucial part of building a meaningful life and a genuine relationship. Authenticity happens when your words, your actions, and behaviors consistently match with your core identity. But many people struggle with expressing themselves openly, figuring out who they are, and knowing what they want out of life. These are big questions, but they don't have to be overwhelming. They are concrete and actionable ways to start finding and more fully expressing your authentic self. If you are ready to learn how to be your authentic self, I want to show you 7 ways to start and truly astonishing benefits that you can realize when you can embrace your authenticity. Are you ready to find out? Okay, I'll tell you. Well, what does it mean to be authentic? Do you know what it means to be authentic? Okay. Do any of you know? Probably not, but that's okay. I'll tell you. Well, in order for connection to happen, we have to allow ourselves to be seen. I mean, really seen. Authenticity means having a keen awareness of who you are and what you stand for, and expressing yourself honestly and consistently to the world. Authenticity means speaking your opinions honestly in a healthy way. It also means making decisions that align with your values and your core beliefs. It means pursuing your real passions. It's listening to your inner voice that guides you forward. It's allowing yourself to be vulnerable and open-hearted. It's also setting boundaries and walking away from horrible, toxic situations. On a deeper level, authenticity illuminates the path forward to live the life that you want. When you get it clear on a matter that matters to you, you make decisions that align with your identity and your core values. You begin to build a better life that brings you meaning and joy and happiness. In doing so, you inspire those around you in doing the same thing. In doing her TED Talk, a psychologist, Brené Brown, explains how authenticity is an essential part of developing meaningful relationships. When people show up with their vulnerabilities, it allows them to truly connect with and feel closer to others. Paradoxically, fear of rejection often prevents people from expressing their authentic selves. They put up a mask and change their behavior in order to fit in or act in a way that others think that they should. When you betray yourself to fit in, you wind up feeling isolated and alone. Feelings of guilt, shame, and low self-esteem are often the result of when you're not being true to yourself. Have any of you ever felt this way? Let me know. Well, Gladys says, for me, being authentic means being true to yourself and knowing yourself. Right, Gladys. You're exactly correct. Thanks for sharing that. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to share? You know, I didn't find my authentic self until I was actually writing this book. It was like one of those moments when I was like, wow, really? I didn't know that it was just like one day I just found myself, and it was just really astounding. Marco says, how do we find our authentic self? Well, Marco, it's just like I said. One day you realize, and it's like I'm saying, you speak your opinion honestly in a healthy way. You pursue your passion. You listen to your inner voice that guides you forward. You have to make decisions that align with your values and your beliefs. You know, all these things that I just stated, that is how you find your authentic self. That is how you find your authentic self, by doing all of these things. That's how you find your authentic self. You listen to your inner voice. You allow yourself to be vulnerable and open-hearted, especially with the man. It's very difficult for a man to be authentic because they're very scared to be vulnerable and open-hearted. Men are very difficult to be authentic with a woman. They're very scared to be authentic with a woman. They don't want to be vulnerable with a woman. Why? I don't know why, but they're very scared to be vulnerable with a woman. But if you were more authentic with the woman, show a little bit of your vulnerable side, you'd be surprised. You might just, land that dream woman that you're wanting to be with so much. So, but I guarantee you might be already you might already be authentic. So that's when you need to look inwards and also ask yourself, what does it mean for me to be authentic? So let's do some of these. I can tell you some of these 7 strategies, on how to be authentic, to create a path. The path to create the life that you want starts with knowing who you are. If you follow these tips to find your authentic self, you will begin to light the way forward. Okay? So your first step is to take a personal inventory of yourself. The first thing I want you to question yourself is, when do you feel most authentic? Ask yourself some direct questions that can help you discover who you are when you are not putting on a mask and betraying your core values. When you get clear on those values, you will find it easier to make these decisions in line with your authentic self. So these are the 2 questions that you'll ask yourself. Okay? You'll be like, which types of people, activities, or situations make you feel the most alive? Are there people or parts of your life that make you feel unhappy, angry, or toxic? Okay? Then take it a step further. And situations that you feel wrong to, what's really going on? Write down who you're talking with, what emotions come up, what these experiences cost you emotionally and physically. In these situations, when you feel authentic, what's going on? Write down, who are you talking with? What activities are involved? And positive emotions or outcomes of these experiences. From this activity alone, you may already get a sense of what needs to change. Okay, so piece that together. You need to prioritize those people and activities that bring you joy and meaning. Alternately, you may need to walk away from those unhealthy relationships and toxic situations if you want to live a more authentic life. Okay? Secondly, be present. The ability to be present with yourself, no matter what is going on around you, is an essential part to authenticity. If you are always distracted by your mental chatter or reacting to external situations, you are not aware of your own state of being. What you need to do is focus inward. When you find yourself wondering how you appear, whether you meet approval or what you should do next, reflect on your values. Practice taking a pause to breathe and check in with yourself regularly throughout the day. This will strengthen your mindfulness and help you notice when you are being inauthentic. With awareness, you will find opportunities to express more fully and take actions that feel more in line with the real you. Do you have any questions with that part? Marco says, gotcha. Thanks for sharing. We'll try these tips that you mentioned. Yeah, those are the parts that I was reflecting on, Marco. Okay, that should help you a lot. And remember, you can always go back to YouTube because my sessions are all on YouTube. You just have to remember to go back to this date, okay? And then you can reflect back to this session on the authenticity, okay? Great. Okay. 3, you have to build your social support system. We need to find the courage to say no to things and the people that are not serving you if you want to rediscover yourself and the lives with authenticity. Your authentic social circle, that's another thing. If you want to live an authentic life, you'll need to surround yourself with authentic people. That's a huge one. Are you filling yourself and your surroundings with authentic people? Think about that for a moment. Are you doing that? Are you filling your life? Oh, Gladys, great. And a friend in time of need is a friend indeed. That's right, Gladys. I totally agree. You know, yesterday I needed my friend so bad, and well, she was already here, and I really needed her. I had so many seizures, unfortunately, and she took such fantastic care of me. And Swanee was just fantastic. She just kept asking me, "Are you okay?" Are you okay? And we just kept counting how many kept happening to me. And it was horrible. But just like you said, a friend in time is a friend indeed. And that's what friends are for. So, yes, your friends can always help you, but you have to make sure that they are authentic friends. And she is authentic. I'm authentic and she is authentic. So you want to make sure that you're filling your life with authentic friends. You get it now? Yes. So that means intentionally giving your time and attention to people who are not only true to themselves, but they also support you in your journey. So you also want to take inventory of your social circle from time to time and surround yourself with supportive people who lift you up, and they can encourage you to shine as the true self that you are, because then you can really be your authentic self. Okay? Perfect. This is how you can create a social support system for yourself. You can find communities and groups or people in your life who share your same core values. Spend time with them and stand by them. Surround yourself with people who encourage your big dreams rather than shoot them down. Walk away from the people who are saying nay, no about anything that are against your core values. Stay away from them. They're not good for you because they're not good about your authentic self. Connect with a coach or mentor who can help you navigate a beautiful path towards your self-discovery and your authentic self. Check in with your relationship from time to time. Excuse me. How to be your authentic self. These are 7 powerful strategies to be true. Okay? Learning how to be authentic self is a crucial part, excuse me, is a crucial part of building a meaningful life and genuine relationships. Authenticity happens when your words and your actions and your behaviors consistently match your core identity. But many people struggle with expressing themselves openly, figuring out who they are, and knowing what they want out of life. But there are big questions, but they don't know what they have to be. They're overwhelming. There are concrete, actionable ways to start finding and more fully expressing your authentic self. If you're ready to learn, what happened? I must have done something wrong. I'm sorry. Wow. Excuse me. Okay, so if you're ready to learn how to be your authentic selves, I want to show, I think that's the beginning of the other page. I don't get it. Because this looks like the same page. It sure does. Oh my gosh. Give me 1 second, please. I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. I think it. Yep. I believe I copied the same thing twice. The next page. I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. I feel like a nut. Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Wow. I can't believe myself. Oh my gosh. I can't believe it. I made a boo-boo. My last page, for some reason, it's the same page. It's the same page as the first one. I so apologize. So, excuse me. So, from being authentic, you can actually embrace yourself and you can be authentic with others. You can also bring in authentic people by being authentic with yourself. So, does anybody have any questions or comments at this time? Because this, this is finished, this part. So now I can only do questions and comments. I apologize. Correct, Gladys. Positivity attracts positivity. When you are positive, you can attract other people that are positive. That's a great way of saying things. I love the way you say that, Gladys. Thank you. Even if you are positive, you will not attract negative people. You will attract positive people your way. It's fantastic how it's fantastic how it works, because if you are positive, you will not you won't attract negative people, because your beautiful positive your positive vibe, it shows. If your authentic self is coming out and you're smiling, especially, because if it's a beautiful day or something, and you hold the door for somebody and they say thank you, of course, it's showing your authentic self, because you hold the door, and the person says thank you. You're showing that person that you're being authentic, and you're exuberating your positiveness to that person. So you're creating a chain reaction of positiveness to the other person. And then maybe you could even say, well, have a great day. Or since it's now the holidays, you might tell the person, well, happy Thanksgiving. Start a chain reaction now. Now it's the holidays. Marco is saying being positive is also contagious in most cases. Yes, Marco, I totally agree with you. It's very contagious. And I love that. That's a great saying. I love that. Gladys says, birds of a feather always flock together. That's very true again. I'm so sorry. Yes, and that's very true too. And if a person is positive, they will find people that are positive too, and they will stay together. That true as well is true. So positiveness stays together. Great comments, guys. I love it. You guys must be positive today. It's Sunday. You know why? People are off. You guys must be happy being home and enjoying your time off, enjoying the last day of the book fair, and I know I'm happy it's the last day of the book fair, but you know what? It's been a fantastic 2 weeks with Reader's Magnet here, and I've been educating people on my book, and I've been educating them on different topics every day, because you know why? I love to educate people. That's what I like to do. I want to talk to people about my book, and I want to tell them everything that's great. There we go, Gladys. Yeah, and getting some quality time with my family. That's fantastic. As long as you are positive and your family is positive, that's fantastic. But sometimes you have to be careful, because sometimes in certain families, there can be some button heads at certain holidays. So there can be a little friction sometimes. I've seen it happen. So just have to be careful. But yes, that's fantastic. Let's see what else. I'm just trying to think. And if you pursue your passion, of course, there's going to be other people out there that support you with their positiveness, and they can be so happy for you as well. And that's what we want. But you definitely, you definitely want to be authentic. We want you to be authentic with yourself. Always be true to yourself. Never, ever let yourself down. You always want to be aligned with yourself. And if you want to be also aligned with yourself, you can always go on Groupon, and you can get what do they call it? You can get I just had one done, and it was fantastic. And the girl, she aligned my chakras. That's what it is. And she did a fantastic job. And when she aligned my chakras after, I felt way more alive. And I felt more alive. I felt more at peace. I was more positive, and I felt more of my authentic self afterwards. And like I say, you can get a Groupon of it. And that girl was fantastic. Well, her name was Veronica, and she was fantastic. I would highly, highly recommend her to anybody. She did a fantastic job. So doing anything for your authentic self it's definitely worth doing because you deserve to be happy. I want you to be happy because being true to your authentic self is what you deserve completely. Totally. I guess I'll read this now because I want to say this. Merry be your Christmas, and may peaceful be in your home, and may joyful be in your family, and may blessed be each one. I just want to make sure I say that to everybody out there. And thank you all for coming to the Reader's Magnet 2021 Festival of Storytellers. We're very, very gracious, and we're very happy that you all came to see everybody that was here. But I am very, very grateful, and I'm very blessed that you came to see me, especially because without you, I wouldn't be here. So I just want to take the time before anything to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I want to say thank you to come and see me. So thank you. But I'm not saying goodbye. But I did want to say thank you for coming to see me, because my authentic self, I want to make sure that because I'm very gracious. So thank you for coming to see me. So, but I'm not done because we still have time. So what can Marco says, you speak so well, Jen. Do you also do counseling sessions? Well, Marco, as a matter of fact, I do. Because I used to be a mental health counselor, I do sometimes. If any time, and I actually, if you go to my website, which is www.rememberingmyreallife.com, you can email me there, and I would be willing to do some counseling because I was a mental health counselor before I got stricken with my epilepsy. And I did used to counseling. I did used to do counseling because I was a social worker and everything. And I worked with I've worked with adults and I worked with children. But this was my beautiful card that I had. But my information is on my website so that you can locate me. But yes, I was a mental health counselor where I helped, like I say, adults and children. So, but this was my card. So I don't use it anymore because it has all of my personal information on it. So, and like I say, I have my master's degree in social work. So I've studied a lot of the information that I talked about in some of my previous sessions where I talked about cognitive behavioral therapy and positive emission something therapy. I haven't really used that one on my I don't want to say patients, on my clients. But cognitive behavioral therapy I've used a lot on my past clients. So if you did need to have some counseling, okay, Marco, you want me to share some of my most unforgettable experiences? In what aspect? What do you mean? Like, of working, I could say once when I was working, you mean, right? I just don't want to know if that's what you mean. Do you mean working wise or? Right. Okay. An unforgettable moment when I was counseling. Okay. Perfect. Thank you. So once when I was working with a girl out in, excuse me, I hate saying once when I was working out with a girl who unfortunately was in the system for a very long time, and she was, how do I put it? And she was going from homes to homes in a lot. I would do individual counseling with her. She would tell me, Miss Jennifer, please don't tell anybody. And I would constantly tell her, you know, when I talk with you, it stays with me. We have, you know, privacy. I will never tell anybody. I will never tell anybody in here nothing. But I'm happy to disclose only a little bit. I'm not telling you her name or nothing, but I'm happy to share, you know, just a little bit. An unforgettable moment that I had with her was this. She was telling me that she hated being schlepped from home to home, and it made her feel horrible inside. And the way that she adjusted was from drinking and doing a lot of drugs. And she was a big time cutter. She cut her wrists a lot. And she hated cutting herself, but she still did it. She would tell me that she would use anything, meaning really, literally anything, to get high on. The kids, the juveniles, because they were juveniles where I was working. The juveniles, it was a juvenile, like a detention center, but it was, they would live there. It was a place where they lived and everything, where they had, it was like almost like a rehab center. She told me that her and a couple of girls would use this. I don't know if you guys know what this is. This is an electronics duster that cleans the keyboard. Okay? You take this and you put it here and you clean your keyboard. She told me that they were using this to get high. And I said, you got to be kidding me. How could you possibly get high off of this? And I said, please don't do that, because if you use this to get high, you can seriously endanger your brain. You could get so high that you could kill yourself. Please don't do that. Another time, she actually said that they were using hand sanitizer. They were breaking down the components of the hand sanitizer, and they would somehow break it apart, and they would drink the hand sanitizer to get drunk. And I was completely floored. And I said, you've got to be kidding me. So the other counselors that were there, and of course, my supervisor, of course, I had to tell my supervisor, and of course, it went around. they took away all the hand sanitizers because the juveniles were going through into the offices of where we were, you know, where my office, the supervisor's office, and they were stealing them so that they could drink it and get drunk. They were leaving their rooms at night when they were not supposed to. They were doing all kinds of bad things when they were not supposed to. So then sometimes they would also go AWOL, which is horrible. It was so horrible. It was unbelievable. I could tell you so many different stories, but I can't. I literally can't. We don't have that kind of time. I was only happy to say that I managed to help one juvenile, but I think he kind of played me a little. But I think he did very well in the course. We had great rapport. He did not, he was not a cutter. He was not as bad as the others, thank God. What else? He had a better head on his shoulders. He was very intelligent, but she was a total basket case, the poor girl. I told her, please, if you want to get better, please follow the program. Don't do any more of these bad things that you're doing. You know, do some positive things. You know, I told her, I said, what do you like to do? She says, I like to crochet. I said, well, you know what? I love to crochet. Why don't you let me bring you some yarn? So I asked her, what's your favorite color? And she said, red. I said, you know what? I have some red yarn. I'll bring some. You know what? I'll even bring a little more so that you and the girls can crochet together. And I even crocheted with them because it's a great way of creating something together. So we did. And it was just a great way to bond in a positive way. And it helped just a little bit because you need to do positive things when it comes to girls like that are experiencing bad, horrible, negative things like that are going through abuse, drug abuse, alcoholism, being physically abused, being sexually abused, either at home or in the streets. A lot of the girls, they had came there because they had pimps that were looking out for them or something. It was just very, very bad where they were or where they were coming from. Each girl had a different story. Each boy had a different story. So it was just very difficult. But she particularly, she was a very unique case. And she was just, she was something. So that was a very unique question you had for me there. So I hope you enjoyed that. But trust me, that is something. Marco says, no, not at all. Thank you for sharing. I was just curious about a day of life of being a counselor, trying to understand a little bit better. Thanks a lot. You're welcome, Marco. Yes, and being a mental health counselor, especially there, it can be quite a challenge. But I cannot do it no longer. There, definitely, I cannot. Not with my seizures. I cannot. I just can't. Because yesterday I totaled it with my best friend Swanee, and I had 15 seizures. So I just could not. And it was at that time that I started getting my seizures back. So that was the reason why I could no longer work there, unfortunately. and the stress from the job was affecting me because the kids were going AWOL a lot. And I just, it was very stressful, and stress is a very big trigger for my seizures. So, but it was great. I loved the position, and I was bonding a lot with the kids. I loved my supervisor. My supervisor loved me. She said I was doing my job fantastic, so, and I still love doing what I do. I can still do the job, and I still do try to help people and doing services, like if I go to the store and I see somebody needs some guidance, I can still provide them with services in the community if I see it. If I see somebody that's on the side of the road, like I saw, what was it, yesterday or the day before, I saw a man on the side of the road, with a sign, and it said something. I said, please, I need help feeding myself and my 2 children. I was going to the store to get to get 2 presents and to get something from Aldi for myself, and to get something for my mother, of course, for Christmas. And so I stopped and I wrote down on my card, that's my book, that's for my book card, and I wrote down on there the phone number to the place that I always give to people who need to eat. I wrote down the number and the place, the address, and I told him, and I said, look, you can't do this. You will be susceptible to getting pulled over by a cop, because what you're doing, it is illegal. And I gave him the card, and I said, go to this place and you can get fed here. You get lunch for you and your 2 boys. If you need clothes, they will give you clothes there too. They will let you do your laundry here as well. And they will even help you do your laundry, and help you do if you need a shower, they even let you do a shower, because it's an all-in-one type of a place that helps you with all kinds of services. Okay. And he was very grateful in receiving that. He said, I thank you so much. I said, of course, this is what I do. I help people and provide them services in the community, because I'm a social worker / mental health counselor. But I don't expect any money. I do it from my heart. And he said, thank you very much. So that's what I do. I just help people just like that. Woo! Well, look at the time. The time just flew. So I'd like to thank everybody who was with me today on Finding Your Authentic Self. And I will be back at 4 p.m. on a different topic. So thank you for being with me here today on Finding Your Authentic Self. Thank you, Fairgoer 991. I appreciate that, on a way of helping others. And I do like to help others. And it can be that way if more people thought like that, instead of people, ridiculing others and having too much racial problems and, all this, what's happening right now of people coming into the country, being crazy. We need to be just loving and just enjoying life. So I'll be back here at 4 o'clock about another topic. So just remember about remembering my real life. Okay? You can pick that up at Amazon.com today for yourself, for your friends and family. And I will see you later at 4 o'clock. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day and goodbye.